Imagine this. You're standing in line at a coffee shop or entering a busy networking event, and suddenly someone smiles and starts a conversation. Your heart races, but your mind goes blank. You know the words, yet they vanish at the exact moment you need them most. Why does this happen? And more importantly, how can you turn those stressful pauses into moments of genuine connection? Today's lesson will reveal the secrets of confident conversations in English. Together, we'll explore mindset, practical phrases, and powerful techniques that make speaking with. When most learners think about speaking English, they often imagine a test. They imagine someone listening carefully, waiting to correct every small mistake in grammar or pronunciation. This creates huge pressure, and suddenly speaking feels like a stressful exam instead of a natural human interaction. But here's the truth. Communication is not about perfection. It's about connection. This small but powerful shift in mindset can completely transform the way you speak English and how confident you feel when you talk to others. Think about the last time you spoke with a close friend. Did you analyze every word? Probably not. You were focused on sharing an idea, a feeling, or an experience. That is exactly how native speakers communicate every day. They are not thinking about textbook grammar rules in real time. They are thinking about expressing themselves clearly and connecting with the other person. So why should you expect yourself to be perfect every single time you speak? Instead, you can focus on clarity, on being authentic, and on letting your natural personality shine through. Here's something fascinating. Many native English speakers make mistakes too. They forget words, change sentences halfway through, or use grammar incorrectly in casual conversation. But nobody cares because the meaning is still clear. What matters most is mutual understanding. If your listener understands your message and you understand theirs, then you have already succeeded. This realization should feel like a deep breath of relief. You don't need flawless English to have a powerful conversation. You only need confidence, a clear message, and the courage to keep going, even when you make a small mistake. Let's take an example. Imagine you are talking about the weather, but you forget the word umbrella. Instead of freezing in panic, you can simply describe it. That thing we use when it rains to stay dry. Instantly, the person will understand and the conversation continues smoothly. You didn't fail. You succeeded by keeping the connection alive. In fact, many people will admire your creativity and persistence. This is the true secret of fluency, not avoiding mistakes, but learning to recover from them naturally. Another important point is authenticity. When you stop chasing perfection, you begin to embrace your unique voice. Your accent, your choice of words, even your pauses. These are not weaknesses. They are signs of your personality, your background, and your courage to speak a new language. Listeners often find accents charming, unique, and memorable. Instead of hiding them, you can use them with pride as long as your speech remains clear and understandable. So, the first step toward confident conversations is removing the heavy burden of perfection. Shift your mindset from I must be correct to I want to connect. Smile, breathe, and remember that every word you speak is a step toward connection. With this perspective, speaking English becomes less of a stressful performance and more of a meaningful exchange. And when you see conversations as opportunities for connection, you'll be surprised how much easier and more enjoyable they become. Once you understand that English is about connection, not perfection, the next natural step is learning how to start conversations with ease. After all, you cannot build connection if you never take the first step. And often, that first step is as simple and as powerful as a greeting. Think of greetings as the doorway into a conversation. Without opening the door, you'll never know what kind of opportunity lies inside. But with a simple hello or hi, how are you? You unlock endless chances for connection, whether it's with a stranger in a cafe, a colleague at work, or even a new friend at a social event. Many learners underestimate greetings because they seem too basic. But in reality, greetings are like magic keys short, simple, and yet incredibly effective. Now, let's go deeper. A greeting is not just about saying words, it's about setting the tone. When you greet someone with a smile, eye contact, and a polite question, you create an atmosphere of openness. You send a signal. I'm interested in talking with you. That signal encourages the other person to respond warmly. Even if your vocabulary is limited, this first impression can do most of the work for you. Consider the difference between two scenarios. In the first, someone says quickly and nervously, "Hi," while looking down at their phone. The conversation ends before it even begins. In the second, someone smiles, looks at you, and says, "Hello, nice to meet you. How are you today?" Immediately, you feel more comfortable, right? That's the power of intentional greetings. But greetings also change depending on the context. With friends, casual options like, "Hey, what's up?" or "How's it going?" sound natural and relaxed. In professional settings, you might use more formal phrases like "Good morning," "How are you?" or even "It's a pleasure to meet you." The ability to match your greeting to the situation shows social awareness, and it makes people feel you belong in that environment. Here's another tip. Greetings are not one way. When someone asks you, "How are you?" don't just say "fine." That ends the exchange. Instead, return the question, "I'm doing well, thanks. How about you?" This small habit transforms a greeting into the start of a conversation. It feels like tossing a ball back and forth, keeping the energy alive. Let's practice with an example. Imagine you're at a workshop. You turn to someone next to you and say, "Hi, I'm Alex. It's great to see so many people here today." They reply, "Hello, Alex. Yes, it's quite a turnout." You continue, "Absolutely. I'm really looking forward to the next session. Nice to meet you, by the way." Simple, natural, and friendly. From there, the conversation can grow in any direction. The truth is, greetings are small investments with huge returns. They don't require perfect grammar or advanced vocabulary, just confidence, curiosity, and kindness. And once you've mastered this first step, you'll discover that starting conversations in English isn't scary at all. It's actually exciting because every greeting holds the possibility of a new connection, a new story, and maybe even a new friendship. So remember, don't underestimate the power of a simple hello. It's your bridge from silence to connection, your first step toward confident conversations. So, you've opened the door with a warm greeting. You've smiled, said hello, and maybe exchanged a few polite phrases. But what happens next? For many learners, this is the most intimidating part. After the greeting, silence creeps in. Your brain races, "What should I say now? How do I keep this going?" The secret is simple but powerful. Ask good questions. Questions are the fuel of conversation. Without them, a chat dies quickly. With them, dialogue flows naturally, like a friendly tennis match. One person serves, the other responds, and the game continues. But not all questions are equal. If you want to truly engage, you need to learn the art of open-ended questions. Closed questions, those that can be answered with just yes or no, shut the door. Imagine asking, "Do you like coffee?" The answer could be a single word, "Yes." End of conversation. But if you ask, "What kind of coffee do you like and why?" you open the door wide. Now the person can tell a story. "I really enjoy cappuccino because it reminds me of my time studying in Italy." Suddenly, you have details, feelings, and an opportunity to respond. Another great example. Instead of asking, "Are you from here?" try, "Where are you originally from and what brought you to this city?" That question doesn't just ask for location, it invites the person to share their journey. And when people share stories, you connect on a deeper level. But asking questions isn't just about curiosity. It's also about showing that you're really listening. When someone tells you about their hobby, don't stop there. Follow up. Ask, "How long have you been doing that? What do you enjoy most about it? What challenges have you faced?" These follow-ups prove that you're engaged, not just firing random questions. Let's look at a practice scene. Imagine you're sitting in a clinic waiting room. You turn to the person next to you and ask, "Excuse me, have you been waiting long for your appointment?" They smile and reply, "A little while, but it's not too bad." Instead of stopping, you add, "Is this your first time here? Are the doctors usually on schedule?" Suddenly, you've created a real exchange. Even if the person only shares a little, you can respond with interest. "That sounds like a busy practice. What usually brings you here?" The dialogue flows because you're showing genuine curiosity. Here's a pro tip. Use active listening as a bridge to your next question. Repeat or paraphrase what the other person said, then expand on it. For example, if they say, I recently started hiking. You can reply, "Oh, you've gotten into hiking. That sounds exciting. What's your favorite trail so far?" This technique buys you time, proves you're paying attention, and keeps the ball rolling. At first, asking open questions may feel unnatural, but with practice, it becomes second nature. Start with safe topics: food, travel, work, hobbies, or local events. These are neutral, easy to discuss, and open the door to bigger conversations. Remember this: a greeting opens the door, but questions invite people to step inside and stay a while. When you ask thoughtful, open ended questions, you're not just practicing English, you're building trust, creating stories, and making connections that last. Now that you've learned how to ask great open ended questions, you may wonder, what if I don't know what to ask? What if the conversation feels awkward? This is where small talk becomes your best friend. Small talk is often underestimated, yet it's one of the most important skills for keeping conversations alive and making people feel comfortable. Small talk means those light everyday topics: weather, traffic, local events, or weekend plans. At first glance, it may feel superficial. Why should we talk about the weather when there are deeper things in life? But here's the truth: small talk is not about the topic itself, it's about building rapport. It's like warming up before a workout. You don't start by lifting heavy weights, you loosen your muscles first. Similarly, small talk prepares the ground for a deeper, more personal connection. Think of it this way: when you ask someone, "Beautiful day today, isn't it?" You're not just commenting on the sunshine, you're sending a friendly signal. I'm approachable. I want to connect. And that tiny signal can open the door to longer, richer conversations. Imagine you're at a bus stop. You turn to the person next to you and say, "The bus is running a bit late today, isn't it?" They might reply, "Yes, it always seems to be late on Mondays." From there, you can expand. "Oh, really? Do you usually take this route to work?" Suddenly, you've moved from small talk about buses to a conversation about daily routines, jobs, or even future plans. Small talk also gives you something valuable: time. When you start with a light topic, you have a moment to breathe, think, and get comfortable in English before diving into anything deeper. It helps you manage nerves because the stakes are low. Talking about the weather or traffic doesn't require perfect grammar or advanced vocabulary. Anyone can do it, and that's exactly the point. It's simple, safe, and universal. Here's another scenario. You're walking in a park and see someone with a dog. You might say, "Your dog looks so happy today. He must love the sunshine." Most dog owners will smile and reply with enthusiasm. They might even start telling you stories about their pet. That single, lighthearted comment can lead to a 5-minute chat about dogs, parks, and hobbies, all starting from a simple piece of small talk. Of course, small talk has cultural rules. In many English speaking countries, it's considered polite to start with light, neutral topics before moving into personal matters. Jumping straight into deep conversations with a stranger may feel too intense. So, small talk acts as a bridge, a way to test comfort levels and gradually build trust. Avoid topics that can spark conflict, like politics or religion, unless you know the person well. Stick to safe, positive subjects: weather, food, movies, sports, or local events. And remember, your tone and body language matter as much as your words. A smile, eye contact, and a relaxed posture turn even the simplest "nice weather today" into a warm invitation. The beauty of small talk is that it often grows naturally into deeper conversation. What starts with "This line is moving slowly, huh?" might end with a story about travel, work, or family. It's not about the words, it's about creating connection. So don't underestimate small talk. It may feel small in topic, but it's big in impact. It breaks silence, reduces tension, and gives both you and your conversation partner a comfortable space to connect. Master this skill, and you'll never be afraid of awkward pauses again. You'll know exactly how to turn them into opportunities for genuine connection. After mastering greetings, asking open ended questions, and using small talk to keep conversations flowing, there's another secret ingredient that can truly transform your interactions: compliments. A sincere compliment can break barriers, spread positivity, and make people feel instantly valued. And when people feel good around you, they are far more likely to open up, continue the conversation, and even remember you long after the exchange ends. Why are compliments so powerful? Because they touch something deeply human. Everyone likes to feel appreciated. A thoughtful compliment shows that you notice details, that you're present in the moment, and that you genuinely care. It shifts the focus away from nervous self consciousness and onto something uplifting. In short, compliments create connection through kindness. Now, the key here is sincerity. People can tell when you're giving a compliment just to fill space or flatter without meaning it. Instead of saying something generic like, nice jacket, add a personal observation. I love the color of your jacket. It really suits you. Specific compliments feel more authentic because they show that you're paying attention. Here's a simple practice scenario. Imagine you're at an art gallery. You notice someone admiring a painting. You say, that's a really beautiful piece. The colors are so vibrant, it almost feels alive. Not only have you offered a compliment, but you've also created a natural opening for conversation. You could follow with, do you enjoy visiting galleries often, or is this your first time here? Just like that, your compliment becomes the bridge into a genuine exchange. Compliments also work wonderfully in everyday situations. At a coffee shop, you might say, that's a cool phone case. Where did you get it? At a fitness class, you could remark, you have great energy during the workout. It's inspiring. These little phrases often bring a smile and open the door to more conversation. And don't forget, learning how to receive compliments gracefully is just as important. Many learners feel embarrassed and either downplay or reject praise, but a simple, confident thank you is the perfect response. It shows you appreciate the kindness without making things awkward. You don't need to explain, justify, or reject. Just smile and accept it. Another benefit of compliments is how naturally they connect with small talk. For example, if you compliment someone's shoes, you can easily transition into a light conversation about shopping, fashion, or even funny experiences while buying clothes. If you compliment someone's cooking at a party, you can shift into a chat about recipes or favorite foods. Compliments create conversation threads that feel organic and warm. Think of compliments as seeds. A single sentence like, you have a wonderful smile, can grow into a long conversation, laughter, and even a friendship. They don't require advanced vocabulary, just observation, sincerity, and courage. So, as you continue your English journey, remember this: your words have power not just to communicate, but to uplift. Compliments are more than polite phrases. They are tools to create connection, spread positivity, and leave lasting impressions. Combined with greetings, questions, and small talk, they will help you build conversations that are not only fluent, but also truly human.